So this is something that seems to confuse people a lot, and let's see if we can make a bit of sense of it. Often people don't quite understand why toxic people or narcissists can sometimes be nice and can sometimes be mean. And I think with this little diagram we can make quite a bit of sense of it. For most people, being nice is a nice thing. It's something that we like to do. We like to be nice to other people. We like to make them feel happy. That's not the case for toxic people. Toxic people view being nice as having a cost for them, and having a cost is something that is bad. We don't like to do things that have got costs. The fact that it has a cost is something that we don't like doing. So why do they do it? Well, when they are nice to us, what happens is we give them something they do like. They like commitment. When we give them commitment, in other words, we say that we're going to stick around with them, this gives them the opportunity to start being mean. Start being mean, they view it as having a reward, and for them that is something that is really good. You go, well, why does that make sense? Well, simply, when they are mean to us, that usually leads to us giving them attention, and attention is the prize that they want. They want attention from us. They want attention coming back to them, because then they feel good. You see, small smiley face means that he or she feels good. We give attention. Why? Because we don't understand why they are being mean, because it doesn't make sense, because they sometimes act nice and sometimes they are mean, or sometimes they say nice things and sometimes they do mean things, and it doesn't seem to make sense. And when it doesn't make sense, we can look at what they say, we can look at what they do, and we can say, you're being mean to me, how does it make sense? And they will say, well, that was not my purpose. I didn't mean to be mean to you. So if this does not add up, and often it doesn't add up, it is because they are gaslighting us. They're gaslighting us by saying, I wasn't mean to you. You're being jealous. You're misinterpreting. You are too sensitive. Anyway, look at this other thing. So we give them the benefit of the doubt. When we give them the benefit of the doubt, we recommit to them even more. Why? Because if we give someone the benefit of the doubt, we want to believe it's going to be true. We want to believe things will get better. So we are making sure that we stay even more committed. When we stay even more committed, that means they can double down on being mean. They can get even more reward, and for them that is even better. That makes them smile even more. Now, the issue when we're giving them too much attention is that we've got other things going on in our life, at least most of us. In principle, we have work to do. We're supposed to have some friends, we probably have some family, and we probably have some hobbies. But what happens when we spend too much time focusing on them, giving them attention, is that work suffers, and friends suffer, and family suffers, and the hobbies suffer. Why? Because we are so committed to giving them more attention and more commitment, and that ends up taking up a lot of the space in our life. Now, one of the things that makes them interested in other people is simply status. The value of the commitment that you are giving in their eyes is a function of the commitment, of course, the attention you give them, and your status. The higher status you are, the more value it has to them. If you are homeless living on the street, they don't really care about your attention and they don't really like your commitment, provided that they have other options. However, if you are sort of doing okay, they value your commitment and your attention more. So what happens is when we start losing status, the value of what we give them is smaller, which means they spend more time looking for the upgrade, the next person, the new supply, the next person. And what they're looking for with the next person is someone who has lower cost to run, who gives them more reward, so more return on what they want, and preferably who has got more status or higher status, or whose status has not been destroyed. So when they look at the relationship with us and they realize that the deal they're getting out of it no longer really works for them, generally because they destroyed the status that we had, and we are no longer interesting, and so the value of the commitment goes down. They don't really care. And the value of the attention goes down. They seek to get it from someone else. And that is why the dynamic with a person like this is what I'd call toxic. It is not sustainable. It is not designed to work. It's not designed to function. It's not designed to keep going for any long period of time. It's a short-term strategy that can't work in the long term, because the goal is not to help you thrive. The goal is to extract as much commitment as possible so they can extract as much attention as possible. And when you're empty, then you are basically like an empty battery. You are disposable. And then they move on to the next person.